Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be there for you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday too, right? It's exciting. So what I want you to do now, and yes, I actually do want you to do this, and I'll be checking your notebooks when I come back on Tuesday, is copy down this do now, and then actually try to find all the angle measures. Pause your video now so you can do that. Alright, now that you've done all this, you have all the right answers, let's go through the right answers here. So if angle 5 is 132, we got to find all the other angle measures. So first thing I'm going to start with, I'll start with the linear pair, number 6 there. That's going to be 48 degrees because it's got to add up to 180. Since 6 and 8 are vertical angles, 8's 48 degrees. And since 5 and 7 are vertical angles, 7 is 132 degrees. Now, 4 and 5, right here and right here, are alternate interior angles, so they're congruent. And by the way, one thing I forgot to mention here, the reason that we can do this alternate interior congruent thing is because these little arrows here, these little arrows mean that this line and this line are parallel. So let's keep going on here. Since 4 is 132, 2 is 132 since they're vertical. And then 1, yeah, we'll just throw a fun term here. Angle 1 right here corresponds to angle 6. And corresponding angles are congruent when the lines are parallel. So angle 1 is also 48. And 1 and 3 are vertical angles. So angle 3 is also 48 degrees. Alright, just wanted a quick review here. Remember, no matter what, linear pairs are supplementary. That means they add to 180 degrees. And vertical angles are congruent. It means they have the same measure. Now, if we have lines cut by a transversal and the lines are parallel, like we had in the brain starter, that means that your alternate interior angles, your alternate exterior angles, and your corresponding angles are all congruent. They have the same measure. And it means that the same side interior angles add up to 180 degrees. That's going to be very helpful for what we're doing now. And what we're doing now is basically looking at what we did yesterday, except we're going to get some algebra involved. So angle measures can be represented by algebraic expressions like 2x plus 1, or 5x minus 7, or 742x plus 385. I don't know any way to do it, but they might. And we can solve for x using the relationships we know about the angles. So if the angle pairs that they have listed are congruent, the best idea is set the two expressions equal to each other. So like 2x plus 1 equals 5x minus 7. And then solve for your x. If the angles are supplementary, that just means they add up to 180, right? So just take the two expressions, add them, and then set that equal to 180, and then solve for x. You want to see how it's done? Yeah, you probably want to see how it's done. Alright, so let's look at this old regions problem on the left here. Basically, it says that we have these lines with the transversal cutting it through, and it says that if measure of angle TVQ is 5x minus 22 and angle VWS is 3x plus 10, what value of x means that PQ and RS are parallel? So the first step, of course, is to label where the angles we're talking about. So angle TVQ, we start at T, go to V, and then go to Q. Do you see the angle this makes? It makes this angle right here. So that angle is going to be represented by 5x minus 22. Now the next one, VWS. VWS. See how just follow the letters. VWS. That angle is right here, and that angle is represented by 3x plus 10. So, what are these angles? What is their relationship? Well, they're corresponding angles, because they're both in like that top right quadrant of the angles that you're looking at. So corresponding angles, remember, are equal when the lines are parallel. So we want these to be equal. So let's set them equal. we have 5x minus 22 equals 3x plus 10. Now, let's bring back a little algebra problem solving here. I'm going to first subtract 3x on both sides. And you're left with 2x minus 22 equals 10. Then this is a simple two-step equation. I'm going to add 22 to both sides. You get that 2x equals 32. Divide everything by 2. And you can see that x equals 16 for this problem. So, let's look at the next problem over here on the left. It tells you that angle 1 is 7x minus 36, and angle 2 is 5x plus 12. So if you look at these angles, they're on the same side of the transversal, and they're both interior. So I know that same side interior angles add to 180. Which means what we need to do is we need to do 7x minus 36 plus 5x plus 12 equals 180. And now we can combine the like terms. So the 5x and the 7x would go together. Add those up and you'd get 12x. And then we have a negative 36 and a positive 12. That goes to negative 24. And all of that should equal 180. Again, we have a simple two-step equation here. So add 24 to both sides. And then you're left with 12x equals 204. When you divide both sides by 12, you see that x equals 17. So that's what you need to do. First figure out what's the relationship, and then you either set the two expressions equal, if they should be equal, or you add them and set them equal to 180, and then use your algebra skills and solve. Alright guys, see you on Tuesday.